Welcome back to my channel and to a new video on this blue 16 valve Golf. I should say as well, thanks very much to those of you who have subscribed to the channel. I'm aiming to hit 1,000 subscribers by Christmas, which is only a couple of weeks away. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make it or not, but every subscription helps. So in the last episode, I fixed my two mistakes with the spotlights from the front grille, and then we got on to detailing the engine bay. And you probably saw from the time lapse that I've just kind of finished it off. So I'm going to give you a quick look and let you see how it's looking just now, and then we can finally move on to something else. So there we go. Hopefully you'll agree it looks a lot better than it did. Much cleaner. I did give the bottom part of the inlet manifold a clean. It's not come up quite as well as the top, probably because it's a little bit more difficult to get to, but it's certainly a lot cleaner than it was. Whether I'll maybe come back to it at some point, I don't know, off camera, but it certainly looks a lot better than it did, and that's enough just now for us to move on. Also, there was some overspray, don't know if you maybe saw it in the last video, just on this front part here, this front panel that the grille mounts onto. So what I did was just got a sponge, the kind of rough side of the sponge, the kind that you'd use in the kitchen. They're quite good for removing overspray. And I just used some panel wipe. So I never really tend to use thinners unless I'm using it to paint something. You might find that if you use panel wipe and a bit more effort, then it will take stuff off and you're not risking damaging any other paintwork, because the last thing I want to do is to have to do more paint. Just noticing there's a little bit of masking tape left there. So yeah, happy with that. It's looking a lot tidier. I did clean up there as well, and I did relocate the washer jet pipes as well. You maybe saw that they were hanging down. The clips unfortunately are broken, so I've cable tied them up, which will be perfectly strong enough to hold them. So let's move on. So I think what we can do today is move on to polishing this side. In fact, do you know what I've just remembered about these wiper blades, or the wiper arms? I'm going to take them off and give them a quick lick of paint, because it doesn't really look that good having freshly painted car, and then the wiper arm's a bit kind of scabby. So I'll do that first. I might see if I can pinch the little plastic bung for there from one of the other cars, and then obviously I'll give it a dust off and a polish. So let's start with these wiper arms, and then we can have a look and see how they look. They were quite easy to get off. So the first thing I'm going to do, which obviously you should always do before you paint anything, is scuff up the paint, and that's just to make sure that the paint adheres. I'm just using a 180 grit sanding sponge. These are really handy. I'm going to start putting links in the description of all the things that I use, just in case it's helpful to any of you guys. So I'm not necessarily trying to take the paint off, just kind of scuff the surface, but I have gone for a slightly more abrasive sanding sponge, just because obviously there's bits that are chipped away. So if I don't kind of flatten them out enough, then you'll still be able to see them. Okay, I'd say they're pretty well scuffed up, so next job is to give them a clean with some panel wipe. If this was a car or something you paint, you wouldn't be touching it after you've degreased it, but it's just wiper blades, so it's okay, or wiper arms even. I think we'll move over to the back of the workshop away from the car. Don't really want to cover it in overspray after just polishing the front of it. Just lost the lid. So I'm just using black stone chip. And obviously whenever you're painting anything, you want to kind of start with just a light coat and then just add more. The idea is to get some paint adhering and then build it up. I might actually just grab the heat gun because it's -5 in here, so it might take a while for it to dry. Being careful not to melt my seat. So now we've got some good adhesion and the surface is dry, we can just put on a heavier coat, and that should be enough, to be honest. And just give that a quick dry as well, and then we'll leave it. Alright, so that's fine for now. I'm not going to try and refit them yet, because although the paint may be dry to touch, if you actually press on it hard, you probably still find that it's wet underneath. So I'm going to put them to the side and leave them, and we can shove them back on later on. Hey, I didn't melt my seat. Like last time, the first thing I'm going to do is just give the panel a wipe down, just to get any dust off it. And I'm just going to do it one panel at a time. Just wipe it down, mask off, then do the polishing and do the waxing. So now that's all masked off and wiped down, all I need to do is hit it with polish and then hit it with wax. So I'll let you enjoy some music while I do that. finished that wing, so I'll try and let you have a look at it. It's really hard to capture on camera. It doesn't look as good on camera as it does in person, to be honest, but I'll try and let you have a look and see how it's looking. So that's that all polished up. I think part of the problem is that my camera's putting light on, which isn't too helpful, but hopefully you can see that it's all nice and shiny, nice and even, no sanding marks, no kind of dull parts or anything like that. It's all come up really well. I do actually need to buy some more wax, so I won't get that wax just now, but what we can do now is stick these wiper arms back on. Hopefully I can do this with one hand without breaking anything. Just need to put this down for a second while I flip it back. Make sure it's right in. Put this down as far as it goes. And 13 mil. I think this is the wrong way. Oh, that's the right way. Okay. Might be easier doing this from over here. Yeah, I need to have another tidy up. Grab that cap. It's not the right angle. I forgot about that. Duh. Let's try that again. Job's a good one. Just another wee thing that makes a difference. So, yeah, bit more progress. Good to get that wing done. My 4 o'clock alarm's gone off already, so I think I'm gonna stop there for the day and make sure that I get the episode up again in time. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow.